For more on the situation in Iran, we're joined once again by Ervand Abrahamian, a distinguished professor of history at City University of New York. Professor Abrahamian was born in Iran and he's written extensively about it. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
We just heard that the conservatives are now speaking out about the severe mistreatment of political prisoners, the killing of dozens more. Why is a lot of this outrage coming from conservative politicians who normally we would think of supporting the regime?
There's always been a strain between the conservatives, I would describe them pragmatic conservatives, and more evangelical conservatives like Ahmadinejad. There's been no love lost between them. And I think this present crisis has actually aggravated that difference.
And is this outspokenness on their part likely to reinvigorate the opposition?
It will, but I think what more serious, it will show that to get in the parliament a conservative bloc to work with Ahmadinejad is going to be difficult, because these conservative, pragmatic conservatives are not going to go along with Ahmadinejad's decisions, his choice of ministers. It's going to cause fragmentation in the political elite.
As far as these abuses that allegedly have been conducted by the government on these prisoners, why would conservatives, who obviously favor the crackdown, be bothered then by the tactics?
Well, you have to remember, one of the candidates running against Ahmadinejad was Rezai, who is a conservative. And it's a relative of one of his advisors that was killed the other day, and he had been demonstrating against the rigging of the election. So you'd obviously had in the demonstrations people who supported Rezai, the conservatives. Of course, the majority of the people in the demonstrations were the reformers, but there must have been conservatives there too.
And what do you make of this announcement that 20 of these detainees are now going to be put on trial?
Well, this is an old tactic of the regime, which is that you get people to come to television to confess your crimes. Here, the would-be crimes is that they were hired, they were inspired, they were attached to foreign elements that wanted to bring about a velvet revolution. And in this case, probably the link would be with the British and the BBC.
Finally, tomorrow marks the 40th day since the death of Netta, the female protester who was shot and killed. More demonstrations are planned. What is the significance of 40 days?
It has both religious and political significance. Religious, this is the day you mourn the dead in the Middle East. Politically, the Islamic Revolution of 78, 79 was built around 40-day commemorations of the dead. And the opposition here hopes to sort of repeat that revolution. Of course, I think the difference here is that the regime does have might, military might it can unleash against the opposition. But clearly, the people in making decisions are very much influenced by 78, 79.
Ervand Abrahamian, thank you very much.
Thank you.